Hi and welcome. This is the first installment of Vital Space, which will be a series of interviews with Dr. Raquelina Luna, whose clinic, Lunavital, is in Brooklyn, New York, and also Santiago, Dominican Republic. The occasion here is the publication of the English translation of her book, The Path to Your Real Health. The Spanish edition, El Camino a tu Salud Real, came out in 2018, and now we have the English version, which is kind of the inauguration of her work in English. So, welcome, Dr. Luna.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. We want to begin this first episode of Vital Space by just talking about what you do. You are an integrative physician, which is different from most of the doctors I've seen, most of the doctors most people see. You're an MD, but there's more to it. Could you explain what it means to be an integrative doctor, or what is integrative medicine?
Yeah. As you say, this is a fusion of two big visions. First, the MD part, the official part of the medicine, and more academic, and the other is this legacy that we take from ancient visions of the health, where we see the human being like a whole total thing that is combined by body, mind, spiritual, and emotions. All these parts are interdependent and integrative, and they interact each other all the time. Then based on that, there is a bunch of resources and an approach that we can use that are called complementary. Many people know them better as an alternative. I don't like much this word, because that tends to see that it's one or the other. And complementary really is something that you can use together. You can decide which one is better in each moment, but also you can combine them perfectly, knowing how.
Okay. And can you give me some examples of some of these complementary therapies, or how they would combine with traditional or allopathic medicine?
Yes, of course. We have, for example, acupuncture, and I want to mention because it's my first enter to the one who opens the door for me in
Chinese
this field,
medicine.
Chinese medicine, acupuncture, that is part of Chinese medicine. And I study traditional Chinese medicine 3 years at the beginning when I finished my career of medicine, and that's opened my mind, and that's was like the path to enter to other fields.
So you went directly from medical school into studying traditional Chinese medicine? Wow.
Yeah.
That seems like a very unique choice.
Yeah, I learned about that before. I was really checking that, and I had when I was a little bit more than half of my career, I found an institution in Spain that they were working with as a school, and also I was in contact with a doctor in Santiago, Dominican Republic, and I was just checking the work he was doing, and also I was studying some parts, and I was really engaged by this medicine, but I didn't have time. But then when I finished and I was doing the last stretch of training to have my license to work in the Dominican Republic, then I start studying the Chinese.
So you studied and then practiced Chinese medicine full time, or for a few years?
Yeah, at the beginning, yes. Then I started knowing others like back flowers and flower therapies. Then I did ozone therapy, chelation therapy. I integrate also the notion of the nutrition. First, there is a brand called Integrative Nutrition, but also there is the orthomolecular nutrition that works with supplements and all this part of macro and micro and macro elements to enrich the possibilities in the body. And there are many. I have been studying all my life. I'm still studying, and but those that I mentioned you are like main work that I do.
Now, these are mostly physical tools, but you are also, I don't know how typical this is of integrated physicians, but you also work with different psychotherapies and emotional and psychological work as part of what you bring to your practice. Can you talk about that as well?
Yeah, really, before studying medicine, I was very connected with the psychology, and I wanted to be a psychology, and I love this field. I love to learn about how people react, what is inside of us, how is the mechanisms in this area. But for many reasons that I'm gonna avoid now, is I start medicine, and then I seen the integration and seeing how integrative medicine also touched this part. I wanted to go deeper, and then I studied more about that.
So you've studied various different kinds of psychotherapies,
exactly.
and you bring these things to your practice, as well as Chinese medicine and all these other therapies that you've mentioned, as well as being a medical doctor.
Exactly. Of course, my base, the strongest part is the medical part and the physical part, but I also join and make a little fusion of that. And not everything I treat myself, like the same as in the medical field. I'm not a specialist in everything. I don't know everything. I can approach a person in the whole system, but I can identify when a person needs to go to a specialist in the field of the medicine. The same in this psychotherapy field, in psychology field. I can identify, no, this is not the case for me. I can just be the bridge that this person go to another level, to go to what they need really. And for that we have colleagues, we can work together, and this is the good part of that. But I am good identifying exactly which is the kind of therapy or kind of psychology or doctor or that the persons need, and just see the person in a whole context.
So, integrative medicine is seeing the person as a whole being, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual.
Yeah.
And you bring an extraordinarily diverse array of tools to that.
Exactly.
Fabulous. So this is Dr. Raquelina Luna, and this was an initial session of Vital Space. Thank you.